All right. Before we carry on and continue talking about our buildings, like I said, I always just want to, let people know, if I can relate to it, I make content about it. I can sit here and talk about this all day. Anybody that know me will tell you that's all he do. Okay, he with his kids and he doing this right here. All right. But like I said, for credibility, there go my company name, my website, my email address. I got my flyer pen. I qualify and teach virtually how to become a inspector. Okay, but this right here is just for entertainment purpose, education purpose, and I don't even know. I don't know everything, so that's why I'm asking the questions. I'm doing my own research. So, if you're interested in jumping in this community and, keeping it positive and keeping it respectful, DM me or hit me in the comments. All right. So let's carry on. We already did Alabama. Let's take a look at our neighbor, Mississippi. Okay. All right. So this is the Capitol building in Mississippi. All right. You see it got the Rome, the Greek type statues, meaning columns. They got an eagle on top of theirs on top. You see all the rooms. It looked like a Capitol building in Washington, D.C. If I didn't tell you this was in Jackson, Mississippi, you wouldn't have believed me. All right, so let's take a look at Jackson. Let's take a look at this building first. Let's look at some specs. All right. Okay, so it was built in 1903. Okay, it was built by these two yahoos right here. So it was built in 1903. It don't tell us how long it took or whatever. So we just gonna use the scale of building a ship. Okay, we're gonna say that they finished in 1903, and we're gonna say that they started earlier. Okay, so let's look at the populations from the 1800s. Okay, so I found this. Found this in the archives, and as you can see, it looked like it's flooded, power lines already up. All right, so we just taking a look at the Mississippi workforce, okay? You can see these guys right here in Mississippi, all right? Okay, you can see the workforce, you can see the quality of the table. All right, so we're gonna say, like I said, you gotta remember to build one of these buildings, we gotta use a scale of a ship. So we're gonna say 500 people. That's just the craftsmen. We ain't even talking about the engineers, the architects, the planners, the designers, the mules, the donkeys that's got to transport this material from point A to point B. We ain't even talking about the logistics. We just talking about building, all right? So we're getting our workforce out the way. Okay, it was built, let me make sure. Yep, granite and limestone, okay? Georgia granite and limestone, all right? So the material had to come from Georgia. They had to put all this granite on mules and donkeys and bring them from Georgia to Mississippi, all right? So now we got that out the way. And there go the building. First picture I can find, already completed. Check out the privacy fence, the quality of the privacy fence. Look at the homes that's done been built. Modern day, 1900 homes. Look at these homes. Look at the wonders on this home. But if you've gone through, they went up and built this Capitol. Same kind of workforce in Alabama. Okay. In Mississippi. This the Capitol building. Jackson, Mississippi. Look at this building. Look how many rooms in this building. They built this building in the late 1800s and say they finished in 1903. And this was supposed to be a Capitol. You can have a trailer with probably 5-10 offices in it. Look at all these rooms. And if you didn't know what this was, you'd have thought this was Washington, D.C. Look at the dome. And I'm going to explain the rabbit hole on the part on top. But look at this building. This is the Capitol in Mississippi. Mississippi. And this was the workforce too. And you can look all online and find it. Okay, so that workforce plus this workforce was able to go out and build this beautiful building. Y'all ain't even seen the inside yet. okay? But this is just like I said, I don't know everything. So anybody can jump in the comments and help me out and let me know how did these buildings was built when they said that they was constructed. Okay, because we already done established a timeline in the first video. All right, so we're gonna say from 1800 into 1950. We're gonna give everything 150-year time period. I keep telling people the 1800s was lit, son. You had civil wars, you had slavery, then you can go out and build buildings like this in 3-4 years. The 1800s was lit. Lit. But like I said, this is a spooky rabbit hole to go down, because when you start looking, this is the first picture I can find of the Capitol in Mississippi. And they say it was after it was complete. Where's the photos? Where's the documentation? Where's the drawings? Where's the photos showing y'all actually building these buildings like this? Because every building I'm stumbling across is looking like y'all earth moving going on. Like some catastrophic happened. Something very destructive happened. Okay. Like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not going to get into mud flood and Tartaria and things like that. But what I do know is we're not building beautiful architect like this no more. No more. And these are the buildings that they left standing. They torn down. And would you believe back in the days when the civilization did have these buildings, these was actually places that the citizens in town stayed in, and it was more than this building. They destroyed a lot of other buildings and just left a few of these standing and put Capitol, churches, cathedrals, these big, massive buildings. Look at some of these buildings in Washington, D.C. and what they use them for. This building is in Jackson, Mississippi. Look at all the rooms. Just look at all the different rooms. And they say that this building is used for the Capitol. Like I said, y'all jump in the comments, jump in my DM, Construction Bros, and y'all help me understand how is this built, because I'm showing you the workforce, I'm showing you the tools. All right, so y'all jump in the comments and let me know. I got another video coming, and we're gonna start talking about the rooftops of these buildings. All right, later.